Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy. A single sedan drove through, marking the end of another busy day. The dealership glowed under the lights, showing off clean cars, ready for the next customers. Inside, a tired employee in a blue blazer straightened up, looking at the paperwork on his desk. The work had been hard but rewarding. He thought about the day's sales. 5 deals made, a good number for any day. "Tim, are you leaving?" the manager called from the office. Tim answered automatically, a habit from 5 years in the job, as he organized the papers into neat piles. His white shirt was no longer fresh, with his sleeves rolled up to his elbows. The delivery truck rumbled into the lot just as Tim locked his desk drawer. Strange timing for a shipment. They usually came in the morning, not at closing time. "Got a package here for Timothy Morrison," the driver announced, wheeling a hand truck through the showroom doors. A single brown box sat on it, about the size of a shoebox. "That's me, but I didn't order anything." Tim frowned, checking the label. His name and the dealership address, nothing else. No return address, no shipping company logo. "Just sign here." The driver thrust a clipboard forward, already backing toward the door. Tim scrawled his signature and watched the truck disappear into evening traffic. The box weighed almost nothing. He shook it gently. Something small rolled inside. "What's that?" His manager emerged from the office, briefcase in hand. "No idea, wasn't expecting anything." "Well, don't let it be a bomb." The manager chuckled at his own joke and headed for the exit. "See you tomorrow." Alone in the showroom, Tim grabbed a box cutter from the supply closet. The tape split easily, revealing crumpled newspaper packing. He dug through it until his fingers found something smooth and cool, a marble, clear glass with swirls of color trapped inside. Pretty, but nothing special. He held it up to the light, watching the colors shift and dance. Beneath the newspaper lay a single business card. Thick cardstock, expensive feeling. No name, no company. Just 4 words in elegant script. "Could you cope?" Tim turned the card over. Blank. Is this someone's idea of a joke? He spoke to the empty showroom, his voice echoing off the polished floors. The marble caught the light again, seeming to pulse with inner fire. Beautiful, actually. More detailed than he'd first thought. The swirls formed patterns that almost looked like... He blinked. Just a marble. Nothing more. Tim pocketed both items and headed home, the strange delivery already fading from his mind. Probably some marketing gimmick. Companies did weird stuff to get attention these days. His apartment welcomed him with familiar comfort. Bachelor simple, but clean. He tossed his jacket over a chair, loosened his tie, and grabbed a beer from the fridge. The marble and card landed on the coffee table as he collapsed onto the couch. The evening news droned in the background while he scrolled through his phone. Emails from customers, a text from his brother about weekend plans, social media noise. Normal life continuing its normal rhythm. The marble rolled slightly, catching his eye. He picked it up again, rolling it between his fingers. The weight felt different now. Heavier, lighter, he couldn't tell. "Could you cope?" He read the card aloud, amused by the cryptic message. "Cope with what?" As if in answer, the marble grew warm in his hand. Not unpleasantly so, just warm, like it had been sitting in sunlight. Tim set it down and headed for the shower. Long day, weird package, time to wash it all away. He stripped off his white shirt and charcoal slacks, leaving them in a heap on the bathroom floor. The hot water felt good on tired muscles. He worked shampoo through his short brown hair, planning tomorrow's sales strategies. The quarterly numbers were due soon. Maybe he could push for that promotion if he kept his streak going. Steam fogged the mirror as he stepped out, wrapping a towel around his waist. He wiped a clear spot and reached for his razor, then paused. His reflection looked different. Nothing dramatic, just off, like looking at himself through slightly warped glass. "Need to get more sleep," he muttered, lathering shaving cream across his jaw. The razor stopped halfway through the first stroke. The stubble wasn't there. His skin felt smooth, completely smooth. But he'd shaved just this morning, and his beard always grew fast enough to need an evening touch-up. He rinsed the cream away and leaned closer to the mirror. His face did look different. Softer somehow, the angles less pronounced. What the hell? His voice cracked on the last word. Not the deep baritone he'd used to close deals all day, but higher, unfamiliar. Tim's hands shook as he touched his face. The skin felt like his, but not like his. Smoother, softer, his Adam's apple. Where was it? His fingers found only smooth throat. The towel slipped as he stumbled backward. In the mirror's reflection, he saw his chest. Not the moderately muscled torso he'd maintained with irregular gym visits. Something else entirely. Breasts. Small but undeniably there. No, this isn't... His voice climbed higher with each word. Trembling fingers confirmed what his eyes reported. Soft curves where flat muscle should be. His waist had narrowed, hips widened. Between his legs, Tim's knees buckled. He caught himself on the sink, staring at a stranger in the mirror. The face held traces of his features, but feminized. Softer jaw, fuller lips, higher cheekbones. His hair hadn't grown, still short, but it seemed lighter. Not quite brown anymore. More auburn. Definitely auburn. This can't be real. But the voice that spoke those words wasn't his. It belonged to the woman in the mirror, the woman he'd become. Tim grabbed a fresh towel, wrapping it high around her chest. The anatomy demanded different coverage now. She stumbled out of the bathroom, nearly tripping over feet that seemed smaller. The marble sat innocently on the coffee table, no longer glowing or warm or anything unusual, just a glass ball with pretty swirls inside. Could you cope? The card's message took on new meaning. Tim sank onto the couch, mind reeling. This had to be a dream, a hallucination. Something in the beer, maybe. Food poisoning. Anything but actual physical transformation. But the weight on her chest argued otherwise. The absence between her legs screamed reality. Every nerve reported a body fundamentally changed. She reached for her phone, then stopped. Call who? Say what? Hey, I just turned into a woman, can you help? They'd think she was insane. The apartment felt different from this new perspective. Everything seemed slightly bigger. She stood, wobbling on feet that had shrunk at least 2 sizes. Her height had decreased too. The kitchen counter hit at a different spot on her body. In the bedroom, she faced a new crisis. Nothing fit. Her suits hung like tents. Even the underwear was comically oversized. She cinched a pair of boxer briefs as tight as possible and pulled on the smallest t-shirt she owned. It draped like a dress, reaching mid-thigh. The mirror on the closet door offered a full-length view. Definitely female. Completely, entirely female. The auburn hair caught the overhead light, shining with reddish highlights she'd never had before. Okay, think. She paced the bedroom, bare feet silent on carpet. This happened. Somehow. The marble, the card, magic, technology. Doesn't matter. It happened. Could you cope? The question echoed in her mind. Could she? The body felt alien but not uncomfortable. Different but not wrong. Like wearing a costume that fit perfectly despite being meant for someone else. Tim sat on the bed trying to process the situation rationally. She couldn't go to work tomorrow like this. Couldn't explain the transformation without sounding crazy. But bills needed paying. Life needed living. I need help. The admission came out in that new, higher voice. Still strange to hear. She grabbed her laptop and started searching. Body transformation, sudden gender change, mysterious packages. The results ranged from fiction to conspiracy theories. Nothing useful. The business card offered no clues, no watermark, no hidden text. Just those 3 words that had proven prophetic. Night fell as she sat there, scrolling through useless information. Her stomach growled, reminding her that transformed or not, she still needed food. The oversized t-shirt would have to do. She pulled on a pair of sweatpants, rolling the waistband repeatedly to keep them up. Her feet swam in her smallest sneakers, but they stayed on if she walked carefully. The hallway outside her apartment stretched empty. Good. No awkward neighbor encounters to navigate. She made it to her car without seeing anyone. Driving felt weird with shorter legs and smaller feet. She had to adjust the seat forward, pull the mirrors to new angles. The steering wheel seemed huge in her smaller hands. The 24-hour grocery store blazed with fluorescent welcome. She grabbed a basket and moved quickly through the aisles. Basic supplies, nothing that required long consideration. Bread, milk, eggs, normal things for an abnormal situation. "Miss, you dropped this." Tim spun around. A stock boy held out a 20 that had fallen from her pocket. "Oh, thanks." The feminine voice still startled her. "No problem." He smiled and returned to his shelves. Miss, he'd called her Miss. Of course he had. What else would anyone see but a woman in oversized clothes buying groceries at midnight? Back in the car, she gripped the steering wheel and took deep breaths. The transformation was complete enough to pass casual inspection. That raised new questions and new fears. The apartment offered sanctuary again. She put away the groceries and collapsed on the couch. The marble and cards still sat on the coffee table, innocent as ever. Why? She picked up the marble, studying its swirls. Why me? Why this? No answer came. The glass remained cool and silent. Sleep felt impossible, but exhaustion won eventually. She curled up on the couch, the oversized shirt tangling around her new curves. Dreams came in fragments. Sales floors became runways. Customers spoke in riddles. The marble grew to enormous size, trapping her in its swirling colors. Morning light woke her. For a moment, she forgot. Stretched like always, ready to start another day at the dealership. Then the weight on her chest shifted, and reality crashed back. Still female, still transformed, still impossible. She stumbled to the bathroom, hoping the mirror would show her normal face. But the auburn-haired woman remained. If anything, the features had settled more fully. Yesterday's slight masculine echoes had faded. The face looking back was entirely feminine. "I can't go to work." The words came out as she brushed teeth that seemed smaller, whiter. "Can't explain this." Her phone buzzed with the morning alarm. Time to shower, dress, drive to the lot. Except none of her clothes would fit. And how could Timothy Morrison show up as who? She needed a name. If this was permanent, and something deep inside suggested it was, she needed an identity that fit this body. The shower ran hot as she considered options. Something close to Tim, but feminine. Tina felt too obvious. Tammy too cutesy. Water sluiced over curves that still felt foreign. She washed the auburn hair, surprised by how different even this simple act felt. Everything required relearning. Every movement needed adjustment. Cynthia. The name came unbidden. Cindy. Cindy with an I. It fit somehow. Felt right on her tongue. Cindy Morrison. Close enough to claim relation if needed. Different enough to be someone new. She dried off and faced the clothing crisis again. Nothing worked. Even belted, the pants wouldn't stay up. The shirts might as well be tense. The phone rang. The dealership. "Hello?" She tried to lower her voice, make it more masculine. "Tim, that you? You sound weird, man. You sick?" Her manager's concern came through clearly. "Yeah. Yes. Something's come up. Family emergency." The lie flowed easily. "I need a few days." "Family emergency? Everything okay?" "It's complicated. I'll explain when I can." "All right. Take the time you need. We'll cover your shifts. Just keep me posted." "Thanks, I will." She hung up and slumped against the wall. A few days bought time, but not solutions. She needed clothes that fit, needed to figure out how to exist in this body. Online shopping offered partial answers. Express delivery could bring basics by tomorrow. She guessed at sizes, ordered conservative choices, jeans, simple tops, undergarments in what she hoped were appropriate dimensions. The day stretched empty and strange. She experimented with movement, learning the body's new balance. Hips swayed differently. The center of gravity had shifted. Even sitting required adjustment. By afternoon, cabin fever set in. The walls pressed close, reminding her of everything that had changed. She needed air, space, human contact that wasn't through a phone or computer screen. The oversized clothes would have to work again. She ventured out, this time in daylight. The world looked different from this height, this perspective. Men seemed larger. Women met her eyes with casual recognition, accepting her as one of them. The park 2 blocks away offered benches and relative anonymity. She sat watching joggers pass, dogs chase frisbees. Life continue its normal course. "Excuse me, is this seat taken?" An elderly woman stood waiting, shopping bag in hand. "No, please." Cindy scooted over, making room. "Thank you, dear. My feet aren't what they used to be." The woman settled with a grateful sigh. "Beautiful day, isn't it?" "Yeah, yes it is." They sat in companionable silence. The woman didn't question Cindy's appearance, didn't stare or wonder, just accepted her presence as natural as breathing. "You remind me of my granddaughter," the woman said eventually. "Same lovely auburn hair, natural?" Yes. Was it natural if it changed naturally? Close enough. "Lucky girl. She pays a fortune to get that color." Lucky. Cindy almost laughed. Transformed against her will, wearing clothes that didn't fit, lying to everyone she knew. But sitting here in the sunshine, being seen and accepted as just another woman in the park. Maybe Lucky wasn't entirely wrong. The woman left eventually, patting Cindy's shoulder in farewell. Such a simple gesture, but it carried unexpected comfort. Human connection without judgment or question. Evening approached as she returned home. The marble caught the setting sun through the window, throwing rainbow patterns on the wall. Beautiful and mysterious as the transformation it had triggered. She ordered Thai food, relieved when the delivery driver showed no sign of recognition. Just another customer, another tip, another door closing on another transaction. The pad thai tasted the same, but felt different going down. Even eating required adjustment to the body's new proportions. Smaller bites, more delicate movements, everything relearned from scratch. Her laptop offered distraction. Work emails piled up, but she couldn't answer them. Not as Tim. That person had vanished as surely as if he'd never existed. Only Cindy remained, auburn-haired and lost. The next morning brought packages. The delivery driver stacked boxes by her door, requiring multiple signatures. She'd ordered more than planned, panic shopping in the middle of the night. Inside, she spread out the purchases. Jeans in 3 sizes because she couldn't be sure. Tops ranging from small to medium. Undergarments that looked impossibly delicate compared to what she'd worn before. The first bra took 15 minutes to figure out. Backwards, forwards, upside down before finally settling properly. The support felt strange but necessary. Her breasts weren't large, but they moved without restraint. The bra held them steady, secure. Panties next. Such a simple garment, but pulling them on felt like crossing a line. No going back from this. The cotton settled smoothly, fitting in ways boxer briefs never had. The jeans required trying all 3 sizes. Medium fit best, hugging curves that hadn't existed days ago. She turned before the mirror, amazed at how different her silhouette looked. Feminine. Completely feminine. A simple green t-shirt completed the outfit. Nothing fancy, but clothes that actually fit made all the difference. She looked normal, like any woman running weekend errands. "I can do this." The words came out stronger, more confident. "I can cope." The business card still asked its question from the coffee table. Could you cope? Evidence suggested yes. Struggling, confused, but coping nonetheless. She ventured out again, this time properly dressed. The jeans moved with her, the shirt hung right. Such small things, but they restored a measure of control. The coffee shop on the corner buzzed with weekend energy. She ordered a latte, voice steady when giving her name. "Cindy with an I?" the barista asked. "That's right. Normal interaction, normal transaction. Nothing to mark it as extraordinary, except that days ago, she'd been someone else entirely. She found a corner table and people watched. Couples shared pastries. Students hunched over laptops, the rhythm of ordinary life continuing around her. Her phone buzzed, A text from her brother about their weekend plans. Brewery tour and the game still on. Her thumbs hesitated over the keyboard. How to explain? What to say? Sorry, can't make it. I'm a woman now? She typed back a vague excuse about being under the weather. Not exactly a lie, just incomplete truth. The latte cooled as she sat there, processing the implications. Every relationship would need renegotiation. Every aspect of life required adjustment. The magnitude felt overwhelming, but the body didn't feel wrong anymore. Different, yes. Alien, sometimes, but not wrong. Like she'd been poured into a new container, but remained essentially herself. Tim's memories, experiences, personality, just redistributed. A woman at the next table caught her eye and smiled. Simple acknowledgement between strangers, woman to woman. The casualness of it struck deep. Back home, she practiced with makeup tutorials on YouTube. The results ranged from clownish to passable. Fine motor control with smaller fingers took adjustment, but by evening, she'd managed basic mascara and lip gloss without disaster. The mirror showed a reasonably put-together woman. Auburn hair catching the light, green shirt complementing fair skin. Not beautiful, maybe, but presentable. Normal. Her manager called that night. Tim, how's the family situation? Still complicated. Not technically a lie. Look, I hate to pressure you, but I need to know when you'll be back. The quarterly reports are due, and you're my best performer. The compliment stung. Tim had been the best performer, but Tim was gone. I might need more time than I thought. Maybe a lot more time. Silence stretched before her manager sighed. If you need to take extended leave, we'll work something out. Family comes first. Just don't leave me hanging too long, okay? I won't. And thank you, really. After hanging up, she curled on the couch with the marble in her hands. Such a small thing to cause such massive change. The swirls seemed to move in the lamplight, forming patterns that almost made sense before dissolving. Days passed in adjustment and discovery. She learned to walk in the body's natural rhythm instead of fighting it. Discovered which clothes flattered the new proportions. Figured out hairstyling through trial and error. The auburn color never changed, though she experimented with different arrangements. Pulled back revealed delicate ears she'd never noticed before. Let loose, it framed her face with warm highlights. She ventured farther from home as confidence grew. Grocery shopping became routine. The coffee shop barista remembered her order. Small victories in a transformed life. But bigger challenges loomed. Money would run out eventually. She couldn't hide forever. Decisions pressed closer with each passing day. A week after the transformation, she sat with laptop open, composing a resignation letter. The words came hard. 5 years of work, relationships, progress, all abandoned because she couldn't explain the truth. Due to unexpected personal circumstances, I must tender my resignation effective immediately. Corporate speak to mask an impossible reality. She sent it before second thoughts could interfere. Her manager called within minutes. Tim, what's going on? Resignation? This isn't like you. I know, I'm sorry. Things have changed in ways I can't really explain. Is someone sick? Did something happen? Talk to me. The concern in his voice nearly broke her resolve. Good man, good boss. Deserved better than vague excuses. I can't be who you need anymore, who the job needs. I'm different now. Different how? Tim, you're scaring me. Whatever it is, we can work through it. Not this, but thank you for everything. The opportunity, the mentorship, it meant a lot. She hung up before he could protest further. Bridges burned, but necessarily so. Tim Morrison couldn't sell cars anymore because Tim Morrison had ceased to exist. The marble rolled between her fingers as she contemplated next steps. New life demanded new directions. But which way to go? Her savings would last a few months if she was careful. Time to figure out how Cindy Morrison fit into the world. What skills transferred, what opportunities opened. She spent hours updating online profiles, carefully avoiding anything that required legal documentation. Social media became Cindy instead of Tim. Email addresses shifted to the feminine. Small steps toward a new existence. The delivery driver who brought her latest clothing order did a double take. Didn't you used to be... have I delivered here before? Must have been my roommate. The lie came easily now. He moved out last week. That explains it. You looked familiar, but different, you know? If only he knew how different. The packages contained bolder choices this time. A yellow sundress that showed off legs she was learning to appreciate, blouses with feminine cuts, even heels, though walking in them proved challenging. She practiced in the apartment, wobbling from room to room. The height felt good, but the balance required complete concentration. Another skill to master in this crash course of womanhood. 2 weeks post-transformation, she attended a job fair downtown. The yellow sundress swished around her knees as she navigated booths and recruiters. The heels stayed in her bag, replaced by practical flats. Baby steps. Looking for anything specific? A recruiter at a marketing firm smiled encouragingly. Something in sales, actually. I have experience, but it's complicated. Isn't it always? Tell me about your background. Cindy wove truth with necessary fiction. Years of sales experience under a different name. Skills that transferred regardless of gender. The recruiter took notes, nodding. We're actually expanding our team. Your experience sounds perfect. Can you come in for a formal interview next week? Hope bloomed for the first time since opening that mysterious package. Maybe she could build something new, different, but sustainable. Other booths yielded similar interest. Sales skills translated across industries, across genders. The confidence Tim had projected found new expression in Cindy's manner. Softer, but no less effective. Walking home, heels swinging from one hand, she felt something shift inside. Not physical this time, but emotional. Acceptance creeping in where resistance had ruled. The reflection in store windows showed a woman comfortable in her skin. Auburn hair bright in afternoon sun. Yellow dress cheerful against city gray. Not the life she'd planned, but perhaps the one she needed. That night, she boxed up Tim's clothes. Suits that would never fit, ties that had no purpose. Donation bags piled by the door, ready for a charity pickup, clearing space for who she'd become. The marble sat on her dresser now, catching morning light and throwing rainbows. Beautiful reminder of impossible change. She'd stopped questioning why or how. Those answers might never come. Only forward remained. Her first interview arrived faster than expected. She chose a professional ensemble, charcoal blazer over a cream blouse, black slacks that fit perfectly. Low heels that added height without sacrificing stability. Hair pulled back in a style YouTube had taught her. Ms. Morrison, they're ready for you. The receptionist's smile held no suspicion, no questions, just another candidate for another position. The interview flowed like old times. Different voice, same skills. She spoke about customer relations, sales techniques, quota achievements. All true, just filtered through necessary omission. I have to say I'm impressed, the hiring manager said. Your experience is exactly what we're looking for. When can you start? Relief flooded through her. Income, purpose, forward motion. Monday works for me. They shook hands, firm and professional. Another bridge crossed, another adjustment made. The weekend brought celebration and preparation. She treated herself to a proper salon visit, letting professionals shape the auburn hair into something polished. The stylist complimented the color repeatedly. Natural auburn this vibrant is so rare. You're lucky. That word again. Lucky. Maybe it fit better now. Sunday night found her organizing new work clothes, setting alarms, preparing for re-entry into professional life. The marble caught her eye from its spot on the dresser. She picked it up, rolling it between fingers that had grown familiar with their smaller size. The colors swirled as always, beautiful and mysterious. "Thank you," she whispered, though whether to the marble or the universe remained unclear. "Could you cope?" the business card had asked. The answer had proven yes. Different than expected, harder than imagined, but yes. Morning came with nervous energy. She dressed carefully, checking every detail twice. The woman in the mirror looked professional, capable, ready. Nothing of Tim remained except memories and skills translated to new purpose. The commute felt different from this perspective. Men in suits jostle past, briefcases swinging. She clutched her purse tighter, finding her place in the flow of morning professionals. The marketing firm buzzed with Monday energy. Her new manager greeted her warmly, introducing her to the team. Names and faces blurred together, but the welcome felt genuine. "Everyone, this is Cindy Morrison. She'll be handling the Morrison account." Hands shook, smiles exchanged. Normal workplace introduction for an abnormal situation. Her desk came equipped with standard supplies and a window view. She arranged the space carefully, making it hers. A small framed photo of the city skyline. A plant for color. Professional but personal. The work itself felt familiar. Client calls, proposal drafts, relationship building. Her voice had changed, but the techniques remained solid. By lunch, she'd settled into rhythm. "Hey, new girl!" A colleague appeared at her cubicle. "We're grabbing sandwiches. Want to come?" The invitation sparked unexpected warmth. Inclusion, acceptance, normalcy. "I'd love to." Lunch conversation ranged from weekend plans to office gossip. She listened more than spoke, learning dynamics and personalities. But when asked about herself, she found stories flowing easily. Edited truth, but truth nonetheless. Weeks turned to months. The job solidified, relationships formed. She dated carefully, each experience teaching new lessons about navigating the world in this body. Some encounters disappointed, others surprised. All contributed to understanding who Cindy Morrison might become. The auburn hair grew longer, reaching past her shoulders. She'd considered cutting it, but something held her back. This color, this length, felt right. Part of the transformation that had become transformation into herself. One evening, organizing drawers, she found the business card tucked beneath paperwork. The question still asked itself in elegant script. Could you cope? She smiled, tracing the letters. Such a simple question for such a complex journey. But the answer remained consistent. Yes. Through confusion and fear, adjustment and acceptance. Through career changes and identity shifts. Through every challenge this impossible transformation had brought. She could cope, had coped, would continue coping. The marble lived on her nightstand now. Last thing seen before sleep, first thing noticed upon waking. No longer mysterious or frightening, just beautiful. Like the life she'd built from its strange gift. Sometimes she wondered about Timothy Morrison, where he'd gone when Cindy emerged, if he existed somewhere else or had simply evolved into her. But those philosophical tangles led nowhere useful. What mattered was now. This body, this life, this identity carved from impossible circumstance. The woman in the mirror each morning, auburn hair catching light, green or blue or yellow clothes expressing mood and purpose. Could you cope? The card had asked. Every day answered yes. The city sparkled beyond her apartment windows, evening lights promising endless possibility. She stood there, wine glass in hand, comfortable in skin that had once felt foreign. The reflection in the glass showed a woman at peace with her place in the world. Not the life Timothy Morrison had planned, but perhaps the one Cindy Morrison was meant to live. The marble's gift had been transformation, but the true magic lay in what she'd built from that change. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, client meetings, project deadlines, the ongoing navigation of a life rebuilt from scratch. But tonight, she simply existed. Auburn-haired and whole, transformed and thriving. The marble caught the city lights, swirling with colors that seemed to pulse with life. Beautiful mystery that had changed everything. She raised her glass in silent toast to impossible gifts and the strength to receive them. Could you cope? She had. She would. As the sun set over the metropolis, Cindy stood tall, gazing one last time at her reflection in the marble surface. In that moment, she embraced her truth. a journey's end that marked a new beginning. The city, a backdrop of infinite stories, provided a constant reminder that life is a tapestry of individual experiences, each as important as the next. Cindy's tale was unique, a path of self-discovery where every challenge faced was a step toward empowerment. She turned from the window, her decision made. The journey had been arduous, but every breath and decision had led to this moment of self-acceptance. Cindy Morrison, a woman both familiar and reborn, walked towards a future brimming with possibility. Each step was a testament to her resilience, a silent answer to the doubts that once plagued her. In accepting herself, she embraced a life worth living. Every day from this point on would be a celebration of being, a victory over self-imposed limitations. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.